What's going on, YouTubeites? Welcome to the Lords of the Long Box CovrPrice Top 10. Sorry, boys and girls, no DJ curse for you today. Just plain old Lords of the Long Box and old DJ TiVo and the crew chilling with you. Today's our Star Wars over-under is 4.5. Remember last week, I think it hit 7 or something crazy like that. So we're going to set it pretty high this week, boys and girls, at 3.5. And while you guys are congregating, I feel deja vu, like I just did this 2 hours ago, but we shall see. So let's get things started with a little Lord's intro.
If you're happy and you know it, clap 2 times. If you're happy and you know it, clap 2 times. If you're happy and you know it and you really want to show it, are you happy? Hell yeah! What's your
flipping the phone, the microphone, or leaving the broken, or ripping tongue. I wrap it around your throat and leave it choking. I'm able to ride the world for 100 miles, a style a mile a minute. I never flex the muscle, but I flex the microphone like I was on a sports lyric. I like the crowd like Atlanta, and rap around the world like the rings around Saturn. Bet you never hear the same rhyme pattern twice. I got more spice than occasion. Quicks mix tighter than the eyes on the Asian. I don't exaggerate, damn, I'm great. Some call me Steve, cause I'm so young. I get high than Mariah, but I can carry the weight, whether a pound or a ton.
All right, boys and girls, welcome back for those who watched earlier. Shout out to everybody in the live chat once again. This is the CovrPrice Top 10, where we go and cover the top 10 selling books as far as units sold and percentage of price increase. Once again, I got my man Manimal. Say what's up to the group.
What's up, everybody? Glad to be back. Happy to talk some comics.
And also Justin from the Comic-Con podcast.
What's up, everybody? Enjoying today. Got a lot of good stuff on this list. I'm enjoying the books.
Yeah, it's a little different today.
Yeah. It's got some good
different
stuff.
and not different. So
different and not different, yeah.
Over-under is 4.5. So this show is sponsored by our friends over at CovrPrice.com. Go to CovrPrice.com. You can sign up for a 2-week free trial. And if you like what you see, sign up for a whopping $6.99 a month. All your collection needs, trends, and price guides. And very soon they're going to throw a CGC census in there, which is really, really cool. I can't wait to see that. So I don't have to go anywhere else to look up stuff because I hate going to CGC forums. Also from our friends at the KRSComics.com, use discount code of LOTLB to get 15% off any KRS Comics exclusives. They've been banging stuff out of the park recently. And then Justin ordering shit he just totally forgot about. He dropped that 9.8 on Instagram today.
Yeah.
That happens so frequently now. It's like you buy it, and then sometimes it's just, you pre-order it, and it's just like months and months later, you're like, ooh, nice little surprise to show someone in the mail. I can dig that. And also from our friends at Rocket Comics. Hit up Rocket Comics. Tell them the Lord said you get 20% off your first pressing order, be it 1 book or 20 books. Rocket pressed pretty much all the stuff that you see me show on last Saturday's live haul, where we got to do 3 rounds of show and tell. I showed off about 9 old 1974 and pre-books, man. I still need to show some of those. Some of them are on my Instagram. So let's get right to it, boys and girls. So every week there is the top 10, and then there's one that almost cracks the list that doesn't quite get the love that it should, but we throw it in there anyway as a runner-up, so we can call it Almost 11, the only and best top 11 list on the internet. And this week, we should have seen this coming. Marvel Point 1, as reported by comicbook.com. Comicbook.com asked Kevin Feige several questions regarding Nova, including whether it's the Richard Rider version or the Sam Alexander version would appear in the MCU, and if they would receive a standalone film or cameo in another MCU project. Well, yes and yes. Feige answered in response to all the questions. Timing is relative, right? I think I'd been talking about Doctor Strange 8 years before the movie actually came out, so immediate potential is relative. Feige went on to point out that the Nova Corps could fit well into the cosmic side of the MCU, while Nova number 1 has been moving for a while now. It was Sam Alexander's first appearance in Point 1, number 1 from 2011 that really started picking things up in price, in sales and price, particularly the Bradshaw variant. For a while, it was highly debated which version of Nova we would see. The both answer is a nice surprise. However, it does sound like it won't be for a while. Sam Alexander's first appearance sold 35 copies, had a 7-day trend of 147%, had a high sale of $250. And just shame on you if you don't already have all of Dick Ryder's and all of Sam Alexander's first appearances It's the worst secret ever that Nova was coming eventually. Hell, they even had the Nova Corps already, so it was only a matter of time. And Kevin Feige told you we're going cosmic. So I think there's also a variant for those Marvel Point. Right?
Yeah,
we talked about it last week, right?
Yeah, the Bradshaw one is the nice one to have.
Yeah. So there's gold and then the heroes. What else is the Marvel Point? I'm thinking about Kamala Khan, right? That's the.
Yep.
I'm trying to think of the first appearances, but I think people are starting to realize the potential. These Marvel Point ones were like 6 or 7 stories basically told, and sometimes they introduce a new character. So you never know. You won't have FOMO if you buy absolutely everything. You won't miss out. Guarantee you. That's one from Uncle TiVo you can take to the bank. Speaking of taking to the bank, Justin, what do we got for number 10?
Well, this one is going to be a little bit of Star Wars, and here's actually
one down.
Yeah, so this is actually interesting. This is Star Wars Tales from the Clone Wars, the webcomic collection in a trade paperback. The first time we've ever gotten a trade paperback on here. This was from Dreams and Vision Press from 2010. So, of course, Star Wars is just absolutely nuclear material right now. Due to the franchise's long-stated limbo, not many were put out in circulation for this comic to connect with all the various appearances, timelines, canon, in-story, and out-of-story storylines. However, post-Mando, that has greatly changed. Once you feel the market has settled on a book, new info explodes into the market as super sleuths like Topher from CBSI and Comic Barricade uncover new and updated key issues. While we typically don't cover trades, but here's one that went crazy last week. So it is the book that straddled the line of comics and trade paperbacks, but it did make it into the system. As noted, CBSI's True First, posted by Topher, this book features, and I'm going to go through all of them, first appearance of Cad Bane, first canon appearance of Ahsoka Tano, first canon appearance of the Asajj Ventress, first canon appearance of Captain Rex, origin of General Grievous, and the first time you see General Grievous without his mask on, pre-mechanical, and a lot of other ones. Not to mention The Mandalorian, Star Wars, Lord and Savior Dave Filoni has confirmed that this book is in canon with the cinematic Star Wars universe. With that news being said, it did sell 18 copies last week, had a 7-day uptrend of 398%, and a high sale of $500 in a raw copy. Now, Tim, throw the camera onto me.
I give up at this point. It's Star Wars is just doing. I don't know what to say anymore. Rarely can I say I'm speechless, but I'm speechless.
So I drank the Kool-Aid, and I did buy some. I will tell you that I did not buy the $500 copy. I got that tip about 2 hours prior to the CBSI dropping it, and I found the place that had them way cheaper. So I drank the Kool-Aid. We're gonna see what happens because again, you guys know.
So show them what it's not a trade, but it's not the trade people think about. It's not the big, thick trades, right?
It looks like you got them in a regular bag and board.
They're in a regular. Well, I put them in a regular bag and board, but they are. I will take it out so show people. It is literally a normal trade paperback. So that's it's pretty cool. It's a wraparound.
So it's a little bit thicker than a regular edition, but it is smaller than most what people say is a trade, but it's still pretty. It's amazing to me, man. It's like, we've gotten to the world of next thing you know, people are going to be slapping posters saying it's the first appearance of a character in a poster and all kinds of other stuff. But hey, man.
But yeah, so this is season 1, and it's got a little forward from Dave Filoni.
What's the publishing date on that again?
2010.
Wow. So it's been sitting around since 2010, and all it took was a little Mandalorian to take it and drop it in number 10. So remember, basically it's a trade of the web comic based on the Clone Wars. So I mean, good Lord, that's some Matrix inside of a Matrix inside of another Christopher Nolan film. Star Wars Tales from the Clone Wars, the web comic, the trade paperback in a number 10. Can you even slab this?
Yes, you can. Okay, and I'm going to send 2 of them into CGC.
There you go. It's all right. Number 10 on the list. All right. What do we got for number 9, Zach?
So number 9, we actually got Donny Cates' adjacent book, which we kind of haven't had much DC Donny Cates lately, but here we got
you invoked his name. Shout out to Donny Cates. Yep. Keep doing what you're doing.
We got King in Black, Gwynnum vs. Carnage number 1, but this is going to be I don't want to butcher this dude's name. The In-Hyuk Lee, is that how you say it?
Sounds good to me.
Yeah, sure. Well, let's just say Mr. Lee variant here, the 1 in 25. And obviously, as you can see, it's an awesome cover. Brings plenty of market attention to this issue and heat to the various covers. This 1 in 25 sold 72 copies, had a 7-day trend of 102%, and had a high sale of $155 for a raw copy.
He does kill it with the covers, though.
That is amazing.
He does.
That'd be really great, in like a virgin variant right there.
I want to say this looks like the what's that musical with the man-eating plant? What the fuck was that called?
What?
You know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah. Oh God,
Grease? Was it Grease?
No,
Grease, man. Oh, yeah, on the live chat. You guys know what I'm talking about. It was
Seymour. What the fuck is his name?
Yeah, man. It was a man-eating plant. It was a musical movie. It was kind of like Rocky Horror.
Thunder House got it. Little Shop of Horrors.
Little Shop of Horrors. That's what that reminds me of. Damn. Hey, Marvel, no prize to him. Good job. King in Black, Gwenom vs. Carnage, #1, the In-Hyuk Lee 1 in 25 variant. And I think Donny Cates teased it again today that him and Stegman's last Venom book will be Venom #200.
Yeah, what is that in the run, though? Anyone know?
No, that means, it's just going to, it'll probably end in number 50, and they're going to call it #200.
Well, 150 was,
50. Yeah.
What was it? 150 was Eddie's return in the last series. The previous series before Donny Cates, when it was Lee Price, when it went it went 12 issues, but it started 1, 2, and 3, or maybe the first 5, and then it became 150 because they went legacy numbers, and they continued that, and then they rebooted it, and it became run. Yeah. So I want to say that went up to 165.
So we're right around the corner.
We're
32.
So after King of Black, basically, is when you're going to
fucking Thunderhouse, man, on point with the numbering.
Yeah, I know. We should give him like a t-shirt.
And this is a really good book too. This is the first appearance of Carnage from Gwen Stacy's from Earth.
Her universe.
The Mary Jane Carnage, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
It's a really good read. I enjoyed it. I'm excited to read all 3 issues.
Mary Jane Carnage sounds like a strain that will fuck you up or something. You know?
Yo, that's some red hot right there.
All right. Number 9 on this, King of Black, Gwenom vs. Carnage, the In-Hyuk Lee 125 variant. What do you got for number 8, Justin?
Here's a little low print run.
Ooh.
You got a serial #1 from Abstract Studios. This is a good old fan favorite writer, Terry Moore. Each of his new series tend to have a good following. However, stores often underorder them because it's from low print publishing
Abstract
house.
Studio, for God's sake.
Yeah. But pushing fans to go online, it did sell 24 copies last week, had a 7-day trend of 319% and a high sale of $15.99 for a raw copy.
So that goes to show you that, retailers or LCSs have no idea how something's going to sell. They order 5 of them. Guy shows up to the shop who wants his 6th copy. Doesn't have it, so he has to go on to eBay to buy it. I will say that this is a trend that is following from 2020 is the kind of reemergence of horror books. And I would say indie publishers like to do horror stories more than anything else because they want to stand away from superhero genres like Marvel and DC does. Although Image is going back to the superhero genre with that new
crossover.
Yeah, well, there's another one that's coming out. I think it comes out tomorrow. I think it's Black Radiant or something like that. I've been reading about it.
Oh, Black Radiant?
Black Radiant.
The Black Radiant,
And basically, the articles have been saying that that's basically a reboot of Image to make more superhero-based comic books. Because remember, it was funny, Spawn started off kind of like a superhero comic and then went full-on horror with God and Satan as little kids and just went all crazy. But number 8 on the list is Serial #1, and it's not, the breakfast food. Obviously, it's some type of killer, but we shall see. All right, so number 7 on the list is...
Number 7 on the list is something we've had for a couple weeks now. We got the Amazing Spider-Man number 55 still here. I mean, obviously, the reason is this cover is just so great. People love this cover. It's awesome. So it's staying on the list. Sold 79 copies, had a 7-day trend of 102%, and had a high sale of $140 for a 9.8.
And add another 4 in there to the ones that Ryan sold. So really, it was like, I think Brian forgot he ordered them, but he had 4 of them. But this is already going to span Gleason Madness for the next couple of months, as you can already see the Carnage versions, the Venom versions. I was telling Justin on our private chat, dude, a profile of Spider-Gwen will be dope.
Well, didn't you put in our private chat that there's other versions of this? Like there's one of
there's one of Venom and one of Carnage so far.
Yeah.
And then there's the Do You Poo, like P.O. There's that. There's, I think, a Trump I think I saw Donald Trump, which is
basically any character you can get away with a profile. I could totally see like Todd McFarlane doing it for Spawn, same kind of eye, Spawn, or maybe Deadpool can like do a parody homage of it. But I could definitely Todd McFarlane doing a after Gleason, homage and Spawn. So Amazing Spider-Man number 55 showing up on number 7. Will it appear next week? It's starting to go down the list, but it's still going strong, 102%. From last week, man. That's amazing. That's amazing. Just goes, I mean, you would think that everybody knew this was coming. The shops ordered a lot of them, yet people still missed out on it. It's or I don't know, maybe they wanted 3 or 4 more copies to flip or whatever, but it's still a cool cover. But we'll see how far Gleason can take this and become the next Momoko Madness. So
I think it'll be interesting to see if all those other copies and versions kind of like water it down, if you know what I mean. Like,
yeah,
because this is so hot, and then they're like, oh, let's do a Karna, let's do the Spider-Gwen, let's do whatever, But each time those come out, those are going to be pre-ordered at a higher rate because everyone's going to think the madness is still there. So that if anyone's thinking they're going to pick up a copy of the Venom and flip it for the same kind of money this one is, you're probably wrong.
All I can say is when there's a Madam Web old lady profile, then it's probably the shark has jumped the ship or whatever. What's that saying? You know what I'm saying. So look out for that Madam Web Gleason profile. So
right.
All right, what do we got for number 6, Justin?
We're gonna flip it on the DC side. So we got beautiful Future State Teen Titans number 1, the Dustin Wynn variant. This issue has the first appearance of the Future State Red X on the last page. The storyline plays pretty mysterious of who it is. So, nobody speculation on issue 2 when it comes out, but did sell 48 copies last week, had a 7-day trend of 230%, high sale of $20.40 for a raw copy. This one was really nice. There is the A cover, and then there is a Wonder Woman 84 cover that finally came out with everything. And you also get the first appearance of Cybeast, which is right there on the cover, the combined version of Cyborg and Beast Boy.
Look at that. Shout out to our friend of the channel, my cousin Dustin Wynn, for doing these dope kind of watercolors that he does. If you haven't seen Descender, where he does the internals as well, it's kind of a very trippy read, man, the way everything just kind of merges together with it. But there you go. We got a Return of a Future State book. Right. Look at that. I thought Future State would have more oomph to this list, but maybe as I go more into it, or are there people being priced out where it doesn't appear on this list because it's too pricey?
I'm surprised that these books are a little bit more. These some of these books are $4.99. I'll tell you, the Batman book that comes out tomorrow or today, whatever. It's weird. There's 3 covers. 2 of the covers were $7.99, and one of them was $8.99.
Good God.
Was it weird? Yeah. These variants seem to be like $1 more. These ones.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there was like the $9.99 books, like the Big Tech 1000, or was it Tech 27 or 1027?
27.
Crazy ass. All right. Number 6 on the list is Future State Teen Titans number 1, the Dustin Wynn variant. All right, we're halfway there, boys and girls. And look at that. If you're playing over-under game.
Yep. So number 5, we've got a book that was rocking our list last week, pretty much dominated the whole list last week. Shouldn't be surprised to see it again. Star Wars: The High Republic number 1. This is going to be the main cover here, the cover A, if you will. Sold 101 copies, had a 7-day trend of 110%, and had a high sale of about $70 for a CGC 9.8. So the Star Wars hype is still there.
And what do we always tell people? If you can buy a 9.8 for $70, do it, because that's like just twice the price of grading a book almost.
This thing's going already. It's already on 3rd printing, so don't be surprised if this doesn't hit like 10th printing.
This will dominate for the next 5 months. The 2nd prints, the 3rd prints, a different variant. So there you go, man. So if you're playing at home, that's 2 Star Wars books. So number 5, Star Wars: The High Republic number 1. What do we got for number 4?
We're going to keep it with some Star Wars. How about the High Republic Stephanie Hans variant? Man,
my favorite of them.
Oh yeah. Unlike the main cover, this Hans variant also, slowed down a little bit from last week, but did sell 235 copies this week, only 102 copies. So had a 7-day trend of 114%, but that good old high sale, pre-order sale, CGC 9.8 for $150.
I know this is going to dominate the list because LCSs were sold out even before they hit the shelves because of just people from their pull list, right? So they were ordering and they're like, holy cow, I don't know if I have enough to even stock on the shelves anymore. So some people came to their LCS, they were already gone. So I think this is going to dominate back market sales like eBay, I mean, Instagram, that doesn't even, I mean, you think about all the comic books that sell on Instagram and how it could affect the market if it were ever to be like, category, cataloged, or, but that would just make the hobby awful. It would just be
Dude, can you imagine? And then you have to factor in the taxes and the high prices of eBay. Like, what a nightmare.
Yeah. You think people are manipulating the market with eBay. Oh, wait, if they were ever doing, not saying that they will, but I'm just saying that it would be interesting if it was. So that's 3 Star Wars books number now. So number 4 is Star Wars, The High Republic, number 1, the Stephanie Hans variant, my favorite of the 2. It's kind of cool when you read it, like, Yoda is already like, they call him a Master Yoda or what were they? Grandmaster? Was it Grandmaster Yoda or just Yoda? I'm trying to remember when I read it.
He's just Master Yoda in this one.
Yeah. So in the book, is Yoda in the book, or is
mentioned?
He's mentioned, but it's really more the new characters. I know Zach is farther along in the novel than I am, but you are introduced to. You get a little bit. You obviously get a lot more of Avar Kriss, like what's her background, and then the other ones like the Transdotian Skier. You know about him, and then there's some other Jedi who will appear in the Star Wars Adventures comic, and probably going forward in these as well.
So in the book, can you tell who is the perspective of the main character yet, or no? Just our Manimal, since you're probably further along.
Honestly, not so much yet. There's a couple. Definitely Avar Kriss is getting a lot of the game time in the first. I'm on part 2, a couple chapters in there, and she's getting like the primary. But I wouldn't say there is necessarily a main character yet. No, I think it's her.
Every chapter is different.
She's going to be the one with, everything is going to hinge on her going forward with the comics. So, but it's we'll see. We'll see what happens.
I liked it. The blonde chick on the cover. What's her name again?
Avar Kriss.
Yeah, so her Jedi power has something to do with sound. That would be awesome to see visualized on either like animated or on the big screen. Because when you read it, or even in the comic, you're like, oh man, that would be awesome to see her manipulate sound. I mean, it was interesting enough. Even when I read The High Republic, I was like, they just dropped the word jazz in there. It's like that's like a reference to music in our time that I've never thought I'd hear in a Star Wars comic. But they dropped jazz, so. There you go.
They talk to her, and this is just a quick little side. They talk about the music of the Force, like that's how she.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how she feels it. She feels it through the music or the sound of the Force. So, it's very interesting. She has the ability to connect all the Jedi.
So it's just a matter of time before we get the dubstep DJ or the dubstep Jedi.
Yo, that shit in Mos Eisley Cantina was kind of jazz. I'm telling you.
There you go. All right, number 4 on the list, Star Wars, The High Republic, number 1, Stephanie Hans variant. All right, what do we got for 3, Jay or Zach?
Number 3 is something kind of new, kind of fun, a little different than what we've been talking about previously in the past couple of weeks. We got Port of Earth number 1. So back in March 2019, Deadline announced that Amazon was developing this Top Cow image series. However, Screen Rant's recent article, The 10 Most Anticipated Comic Book and Graphic Novel Adaptations, made the list at number 2 and retweeted by creator Zach Kaplan, reminded collectors that this project is still moving forward. All covers received a bump in price. It sold 31 copies, had a 7-day trend of 433%, and had a high sale of $150 for a CGC 9.8.
Sometimes that's all it takes is a little reminder, from a creator to say, yo, just in case, hey, we haven't stopped developing it. It's still coming. So you remember when Youngblood dominated this list and Rob Liefeld was
God, that hasn't been anything on that.
Yeah. So obviously, Matt always talks about when we have him on CovrPrice, the guys on here, that there are hundreds of properties that are green or being developed in Hollywood, and maybe 20% of them see the day of light, because a lot of times they buy the properties and just sit on them. Maybe they're waiting for a good script, or they don't have the money, or the studio head decides, we're going to do something else. So I've never seen this in person in my life. It's interesting that they just brought it back. Like Jupiter's Legacy has not been on this list for a while. Yet they are so far. That show is going to be like debuting like next year, right? I mean, you already seen all the pictures of it that's coming out. If you don't know, that's Mark Millar's Jupiter's Legacy, which is it's a badass comic actually. It's one of the image titles I really enjoyed. Kind of another take on the superhero genre, like the boys are doing. Amazon is killing it with everything they do, man. I hope Jupiter's Legacy really turns out, because it's a little bit different than totally different than The Boys, but it's in that same genre where they take the superhero genre and they flip it on its head or flip it 180, whatever you want to think. But
is Jupiter's Legacy going to be the first Millar universe that we're getting on Netflix?
I think so.
That? Yeah,
because they said he was going to be doing Nemesis as well, which is another great.
That was a crazy one. His shit's adult, man.
Yeah, I'm a huge Millar fan, dude. I love everything that he does.
I love the original Kick-Ass stuff. I thought it was awesome.
Dude, when the first Kick-Ass movie, when Hit Girl did her thing, I was like, damn, that was badass.
First movie was dope. That first movie was dope.
Yeah.
The second one wasn't bad either.
Nick Cage was the father. Who remembers Nick Cage, man? He's always doing these. Dude, I just saw a trailer for the craziest Nick Cage movie where he's killing animatronic.
Oh my God, I can't wait for that.
Wait, what is it? I need to watch this.
Oh God, I think I sent. Did I send it to you?
It's coming out on straight to demand, so you can buy it at basic Amazon or whatever. And it's these kids are stuck in this horror house where animatronic puppets come to life to kill them, but Nick Cage is there to kill them. The animatronic puppets.
Nicolas Cage is the most ridiculous / greatest actor of all time.
Yeah, and I think like he doesn't talk at all. Like that's the thing is like he doesn't say anything in the trailer, and I think they say
crazy face.
Oh, you're a man of nothing, no words or whatever.
Yeah, but I saw Jiu-Jitsu and it's awful. Where he kind of, it's like his weird Mortal Kombat film, and Nick Cage is like the sensei or whatever. It's an awful movie. I 45 minutes left. Fuck that. I give up. It was awful. For a movie called Jiu-Jitsu, there was not a jiu-jitsu move in the entire film, which was even more mind-boggling. You would think, the world knows MMA, they know what Brazilian jiu-jitsu is. It's locks and holds. It's basically a kickboxing movie is what it is. But anyway, all right, so number 3, Port of Earth, number 1. If you have this, tag us on Instagram with your picture right next to it with a, proof of life that it's today's date. We'll give you a Marvel No Prize or an Image No Prize in that fact. What do we got for number 2?
Haha from Image. Oh, and real quick, the name of the movie is called Willy Wonderland.
Willy Wonderland.
Yeah, so
it's go check out the trailer. It's bonkers.
But speaking of Willy Wonderland, if you guys read this book, it's pretty similar. It's got clowns. So this came out last week. Haha, number 1. Really hot new series. I don't know. This is another book that was under-ordered that I'm surprised a lot of people didn't order it because Ice Cream Man is so hot. It's done from the writer W. Maxwell Price. Sold 108 copies. Had a 7-day trend of 265%. High sales for the cover A. This is cover A. Was going for $35. But almost all the covers are selling really well. There was a couple exclusives ones. The big numbers like Casey Parsons' Gotham Central Trump set, which is selling for $200 for the trade and $250 for the Virgins, got Donald Trump as a clown on the cover. However, the big winner, and this one's sick, the John Gallagher Wanted Comics Virgin cover with the trade currently selling for $70 for the trade dress, and the Virgin is selling for $395, and it is a creepy, scary cover. It's got this clown.
Is this like
which one? The John Gallagher one?
Yeah.
Is it a killer clown? Is that what it is? A serial killing clown?
It's like he's a clown. So I don't really want to spoil it. We'll talk after, but it's very like I think they're like one shots similar to Ice Cream Man because the next issue involves a girl clown, but it's very creepy, and I really don't want to ruin it on YouTube.
Yeah, that is a creepy cover. You know what it looks like? It kind of looks like the clown from oh god, what's that anthology series on FX, the horror one?
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, that one. He kind of looks creepy like that, dude. That's a creepy one.
So there you go, man. It's like I was telling you, these kind of weird horror books. Ice Cream Man. We have Serial. Now we have Haha, which I almost say maybe they're all base. People were thinking, hey, what can we do as the next It, since it was such a smash hit, and the return of Pennyworth and all that crap. So if you're playing the over-under game, you're at 3 now. The over-under was 4.5. So if you played the over, you're not looking too well. Play the under, looking pretty good. So what is number 1?
Number 1 is Star Wars. Psych! It's Future State Teen Titans number 1, the cover A copy. So like Justin said, he mentioned earlier, the cover B came up, the Dustin Wynn variant. This is the original cover A. First appearance of Future State Red X on the last page. Same thing. Nothing's changed since what Justin went over. Very mysterious storyline, but it sold 216 copies, had a 7-day trend of 350%, and had a high sale of $23.47 for a raw copy. And there seems to be a lot of market interest in this Red X character. So CovrPrice is recommending you guys hold on to this issue for a little while.
There you go. Shout out to everybody in the live chat. I love it when people do this. This has been a trend for the last, I would say, month or so, where people show the number of books that they actually got on the list. Harry Old Guy has 2 of the 10 on this list. If anybody got 10 of the 10, I would be amazed because this list is a little bit all over the place. But that's a good thing, man. I think for... obviously last week was a little bit different since Star Wars. Oh, damn, you scared the shit out of me.
Actually, I'm probably the closest one because I got that number 10. I don't think anybody else had the 10, but I'm close.
Shout out to our friends at Ages Comics. They sent me my Put It In My Box shirt. This time it has the hashtag of Ages Comics of Alaska. Shout out to Lou and Amy. Great folks supporting the community over there in the big north of Alaska, man. So, I mean, if you probably Justin is closest because I don't know anybody who got that trade.
Well, between the trade and the in-huck leave, I'm waiting for that it got shipped. I should have it this week, so I definitely.
I'm sitting at 4.
And even cereal, I picked up cereal. Only reason why was because last week I saw it on some other list. I won't tell you where, and it's not some guy on YouTube. I saw that it was selling pretty well, so I found one last copy on Friday at a shop.
So if you don't know, our friends at the CBSI group, they're the ones that were talking about this. Here, I'll show you guys again. This is the surprising book of the week, I think. Is this one, which I didn't see coming. Because normally I can look at a list and see it, but just goes to show you, man, anything Star Wars related. And I think people are finally realizing there are a ton of Star Wars comics before Marvel and after Marvel, 1977, and Marvel Disney, right there. There's huge runs of Dark Horse comics that are crazy. And then I just think about it. Wait, IDW is doing publishing for like the more kid comics, right?
It's like
This is from Dreams and Vision Press, goddammit. That's what I just want to say. It's Dreams and Vision Press. If you had that on your 2021 bingo card, you're off to a great start, boys and girls. So shout out to Jay Sousa in the live chat for doing this for me. He's working on another one. I saw he's going to do one that's Enter the Dragon theme because I think we both saw Enter the Dragon that was just showing on TV again. And I think it's on HBO Max too because it's a Warner Brothers film.
Huh.
Yeah, so it's pretty great. And I remember, Justin, I was telling you about that documentary on Netflix about the history of Hong Kong cinema and all the martial arts film. It's great. It talks about how if you're familiar with Kung Fu, Shaw Brothers were like the dominant force. And they had a chance to sign Bruce Lee, and they said no. And Golden Harvest said, fuck yeah, we'll take you. Boom, and they lost out on Bruce Lee signing. And then that's amazing to me because Shaw Brothers, obviously, they did like the 5 Deadly Venoms, the 36 Chamber of Shaolin, all those films, but they missed out on Bruce Lee. Yeah. And then Golden Harvest still went strong, and Shaw Brothers went bye-bye. But there you go. So I hope you guys enjoyed this list. Go peep out the video I did earlier today about a Mikey Sutton scoop in regard to devils and ghost riding the whip. As you can say. Speaking of ghost riding the whip, Justin, any last words?
Make sure you come and check out the Comic-Con podcast. Follow both me and Zach.
Drop a link to your podcast in the live chat so people
it's
can
so
just
hard.
click on it.
Just go right on Comic-Con podcast on Instagram, Anchor, Spotify, iTunes, Google Podcasts. That's where you find us. Thank you so much. We've done 2 episodes. Third one coming out this Friday.
3 episodes if you count, Manimals Mutant Mondays. When is it? Is it still called Mutant Mondays, or what is it called?
Yeah, I just did 1 so far. May not be like a weekly thing, just kind of as I got something I want to talk about.
And are you guys doing the WandaVisions on Saturday too? Because your show's on. Or do you guys stay up to watch WandaVision, or are you guys?
No, we're gonna. So we record typically Wednesday or Thursday to drop it on Friday. So we're going to be a week behind on everything.
Yeah, we don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah, give people a good couple days to get it. But
we're pretty fucked up at 9 a.m. We're telling you about the episode of WandaVision.
Yeah. The big red gum is actually Omega Red. So, all right. Thank you guys all for joining us. We'll be back on Thursday for the Shakers of the Week list. I have a feeling Heritage Auctions are going to dominate this list. You know why? Because I already have the list. I got to email it out to you guys. But until next time, boys and girls, we will catch you on the flip side and keep digging in them long boxes. Peace out.
Now let's do this. Rewind, select and come again. Pull up that from the top to the very last.
Who are you to make their lives bitter in hard bondage? In this you shall know that the Lord is faithful. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, do it! We're here! We're back! Word up! Here's to what you can't get fresher than this. In the great hall of the Justice League, there are assembled the world's 5 greatest heroes. Their mission, to fight injustice, to right that which is wrong, and to serve all mankind. When it comes, I won't even notice.